Good morning, everyone. Happy 2025 to you. Ethan Steber here with Steber Weather Forecasting. We've got another great year of some weather that we'll work our way through. Thank you for everyone who stuck around last year and who joined this community last year. Up on your screen, we're going to talk about some winter weather now that's moving in this weekend. You can see on the day 3 through 7 hazards map put out by the National Weather Service, we've got a big swath of either heavy snow or freezing rain that we're going to have to talk about as we get into this weekend. This was issued yesterday. The new one should get issued this afternoon. I'll post that on Facebook later once I get it. So let's talk timing of this snowfall, because that's really the big thing that we can for sure have pretty good confidence with right now. I'm going to show you a bunch of different model runs to show you kind of the inconsistencies and consistencies with these, and we'll kind of go from there. First up is the American model. This is the GFS, and we'll pick this up at midnight Sunday night. As we go through the day on Sunday, the snow will build off to our west. By 7 a.m., the snow is starting to move into some of our western counties, and by noon, really, it's spread through everybody, with maybe some sleet down to the south. That's the purple shading you see there. Any red shadings you see just south of that, say down around the Paducah, Kentucky area, that's some freezing rain. So you kind of get the picture what we're looking at. As we go on later into the day on Sunday, notice by 4 p.m. some sleet may try to sneak its way in here. We'll have to keep an eye on that, according to the GFS at least. As we go on later into the rest of the evening and overnight hours, here's midnight on Monday. Notice just some snow showers left over, and then it will track off to the east and kind of be out of here by noon on Monday, according to the GFS. How about the European model? With this one, again, similar track, similar timing. By 7 a.m., it wants to get the snow in just a little bit earlier, but notice there's a much bigger freezing rain chunk in this run of the European model. Notice all that red right there is the freezing rain. This is noon right now on Sunday, according to the European. Mostly snow for us, maybe some freezing rain off to our south. And it pushes it out of here pretty quickly and has everything cleared well before noon on Monday is where we stopped right here. Now, something that we do have to watch with all of these different model runs, the reason that there's kind of some mediocre forecast confidence right now is the track of this low pressure system. Generally, with all of these, and I'll show you the GFS to show you what I'm talking. This is the Canadian now to kind of illustrate what I'm talking about here. Excuse me. The track of this low pressure is going to be very important when we talk about whether we're getting snow, whether we're getting sleet, whether we're getting freezing rain. 100 to 200 mile wobble in this track can really change a lot for us. So, according to the Canadian, again, it moves in here a little bit slower. This is noon on Sunday. It's a little bit slower getting here, but it still brings us a pretty hefty thump of snow by midnight Monday night. Maybe some sleet, though, in our southern counties, or maybe even as far north as Route 50, before it changes everything over to snow. And it's a little bit slower with the storm moving out until the early hours on Tuesday. This is now Tuesday morning at midnight. So you kind of get the picture. Where this low tracks is going to be extremely important in terms of snow. If the low takes a little bit more of a southern track, say somewhere over Tennessee or close to Tennessee, we may be looking at more of a snow scenario for our area. If it tracks a little bit further north, say into Kentucky a little bit, then we're going to have to deal with, or potentially have to contend with, some sleet and or freezing rain out of this. It's way too early to talk snowfall totals yet. I'll have a snowfall graphic out by Friday afternoon for sure for my first call snowfall forecast, and then any changes I need to make, I will post a final call Saturday afternoon. You'll see a bunch of snowfall totals floating around right now. I saw something on Facebook last night that was suggesting 9 to 11 inches of snow in the Olney area. It's just way too early to talk about snowfall totals. Those are going to change a lot between now and Sunday. And to post something this early indicating snowfall totals is just reckless in my opinion. That's why you're not going to see anything from me, because the information I want to put out in terms of snowfall totals, especially, is I want to be right, and I want to be accurate for you. I don't want to be early. I don't want to be the first one to put snowfall totals out. I want to make sure it's correct. So that's why you're not going to see snowfall totals from me until probably Friday at the very earliest. So there's my soapbox for that. One thing we are going to have to contend with, and I have pretty high confidence with this, is some really cold and really hazardous temperatures as we get into, after this storm system, into the the first full week of January, and into the second week, according to the Weather Prediction Center and Climate Prediction Center at the National Weather Service here. And the Climate Prediction Center backs this up with the temperature outlooks for the 6 to 10 day and the 8 to 14 day range. Here's the 6 to 10 day. This is basically all next week. Notice much of the country is below average, with that coldest or most below average temperatures centered right over us. And that only gets stronger in the 8 to 14 day. We still stay in those cold temperatures as we go through the 14th. So after this storm system, it's going to get really, really cold. And let me show you what I'm talking about with that. These are forecast high temperatures for the day on Thursday, January 9th. This is after the snow system has moved through. High temperatures on Thursday, the 9th, look to only be around, lower 20s if we make it there that day. But watch how quick these drop off to the nighttime lows Thursday night. This suggests we could see sub-zero readings as we get through much of next week, with wind chill values even lower than that, say, negative 10 to negative 15 potentially. So really some dangerous cold working its way in after this snow system. And just to kind of wrap up everything, here's kind of my thoughts overall. Timing on this, somewhere probably after the noontime hour on Sunday, into probably the first part of your Monday morning. So the commute Monday morning is going to be pretty tricky for a lot of us in the area. Accumulations, like I said, way too early to talk about those. You're going to see a lot of stuff on Facebook. Know that those numbers are going to change a lot before we get to the event. So is it, possible that someone in the area is going to see north of 6 inches of snow? Yeah, it's extremely possible out of this storm system, the way the models have been trending. However, it's just too early to talk snowfall totals yet, and really pinpoint who's going to get the biggest snow. The low pressure, just those inconsistencies need to work themselves out in the models first before we talk accumulations. Impacts, like I said, potentially significant. Depending upon where exactly the track of the low is. I can tell you the Monday morning commute in general for everyone is probably going to be a messy one, so heads up on that. Past that, like I said, we're looking at extreme cold next week and on into the middle of the month, so be prepared for that. If you need to do any grocery shopping ahead of this, get out and do that early. Get those done before everyone starts posting about Snowmageddon and things getting, later on in the week. So get your grocery shopping done early. That's what I'm going to do. And just, have everything settled in to where you don't have to leave the house on Sunday afternoon or Monday would probably be a good thing. So stay tuned for updates. I'll keep posting updates as we get later on in the week. I'll have snowfall graphics out by Friday. And we can start having a better picture of what the storm will look like as we go towards the end of the week.